live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the 9 p.m. news telecast of the prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Charita.
I'm Dilanjali Ananda, and these are the headlines for tonight.
Government will not allow to sabotage new educational reforms being a main priority. Bill to abolish the pension of parliamentarians gazetted. Instability grips Venezuela with the US military arrest of President Maduro. Janata Vimukti Peramuna condemns the US military interference against Venezuela. Release of water from Teldina Mahayana project commenced. Excessive snowfall in Japan affects daily life. Bangladesh boycotts visiting India for the T20 Cricket World Cup.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top local story. The government says that the new educational reforms are a priority and no one will be allowed to sabotage it.
This has been emphasized during a media briefing held at the Department of Government Information, led by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya.
Minister
Vijay Herath said that the educational reforms, including curriculum revisions and infrastructure development, were initiated with the primary goal of strengthening the future of the nation's children. He acknowledged that while some shortcomings are identified by various stakeholders, the Minister of Education has actively addressed these concerns through discussions to refine and correct the process. Minister Herath noted that these efforts have been well received by the public and teachers alike. Furthermore, he emphasized that after receiving a proper briefing on the reforms, members of the opposition in Parliament also expressed their support, urging for the immediate implementation of these changes. He reiterated that the initiative is a collective government responsibility aimed at securing the future of the country's children. Regarding a significant error found in a grade 6 curriculum module, the minister confirmed that the Ministry of Education is investigating the matter. Following the Prime Minister's instructions, a committee was appointed to gather internal data and legal action will be taken against those responsible based on the committee's findings. Additionally, the Criminal Investigation Department has been tasked with conducting a formal inquiry to determine how and why the error occurred. Mr. Herath assured that the corrected module would be provided to students and that the reforms would continue without cause for uncertainty. He also announced that the new curriculum will be introduced to grade 1 students on January 29th and to grade 6 students on January 21st, alongside training programs for teachers and orientation for parents. A new policy on the digitalization of education is expected to be introduced by March. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya addressed concerns regarding whether the error in the grade 6 module was an act of sabotage. She stated that while a definitive conclusion must await the CID's findings, there are suspicions due to the narrative promoted by those opposing to the reforms. Addressing the long-standing issue of teacher shortages, the Prime Minister explained that legal challenges had stalled appointments for 5 years. However, she noted that over 3,000 teachers were appointed last year and expressed optimism that the remaining vacancies would be filled by March 2026.
Gazette notification regarding the bill to abolish the pension of members of parliament has been issued. This was done under the directive of the Minister of Justice and National Integration. Following the publication of the Gazette, it is scheduled to be presented to Parliament for approval. This legislation is introduced as the Parliamentary Pension Abolition Act of 2025. Through this, the Parliamentary Pension Act of No. 1 of 1977 of the National State Assembly will be repealed. The Gazette further specifies that the provision regarding parliamentary pension mentioned in Section 9 of the Act No. 1 of 1982 and Section 9 of Act No. 47 of 1990 shall also be affected, and the payment of such pensions must cease and after the date of this act comes into operation. Following the capture of President Nicolas Maduro by US military forces, a state of instability has emerged in Venezuela.
Although the country's Supreme Court has ruled that Vice President Delcy Rodriguez should assume the interim presidency, US President Donald Trump has said that he will lead Venezuela until a stable transition of power takes place. The Venezuelan president and his wife were taken into US military custody yesterday during a massive joint military operation. The operation, executed under the orders of President Donald Trump, was named Operation Absolute Resolve. Approximately 150 aircrafts departing from nearly 20 locations across the Western Hemisphere were utilized for the mission. This operation, which had been conducted secretly for several months, was led by the military unit known as Delta Force. Supplemented by American intelligence reports, these forces meticulously monitored even the personal activities of Maduro. American forces entered the specialized metallic bunker where Maduro was staying in the capital, Caracas. Although the president and the first lady allegedly preparing to move to another secure location, American forces managed to thwart that attempt. US infantry forces entered the location following a series of massive aerial strikes. Under the protection of fighter jets, it took only about half an hour to remove the captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores from the site. He was subsequently transported to New York by air. Currently, Nicolas Maduro is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. However, specific information regarding the location where the Venezuelan leader's wife is being held has not yet been released to foreign media. The American president monitored the entire operation from the operations center at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. With the American military capturing the Venezuelan leader alive, a state of severe instability has been created within Venezuela. A national state of emergency has been declared within the country. The country's Supreme Court has ruled that Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez should assume the interim presidency. However, she maintains that the sole president of Venezuela is Nicolas Maduro. Addressing the public via national television, she appealed to America to release Maduro. Meanwhile, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has said that the opposition must seize power in the country at this time. She asserts that opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez should assume the presidency. Following the operation, American President Donald Trump pointed out that he would lead Venezuela until the transition of power occurs in a stable manner. Furthermore, he declared that Venezuela's massive crude oil reserves would be operated under the US control.
We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it essentially until such time as a proper transition can take place.
Regarding the attack, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that this could be a dangerous precedent. He emphasized that all parties must respect international law. Issuing a statement, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs also stated that the USA must comply with international law. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer also said that regardless of his opinion on the end of Maduro administration, the violation of international law through a military operation is unacceptable. Emphasizing the importance of establishing stability and democracy in Venezuela, the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs has also issued a statement. A statement issued by the Malaysian Ministry of Foreign Affairs noted their opposition to interfering in the internal affairs of any country or threatening through the use of force. Protests were held in front of the American Embassy in Britain and several other locations expressing opposition to the American attack. Meanwhile, Minister Vijay Herath also made remarks regarding the situation in Venezuela during a media briefing held at the Department of Government Information today. Minister Vijay Herath called for international action to protect national sovereignty in accordance with UN principles and international law. He highlighted that all UN member states are obliged to respect these principles and noted that a meeting of the UN Security Council has been convened for tomorrow to address actions that contravene these fundamental tenets. The minister emphasized that the government is advocating for urgent measures within the UN General Assembly to respond to violations of these core principles and policies. Since yesterday, Nicolas Maduro has become the most talked about political figure in the world.
And here's an explanation into his profile. Born in 1962 into a working-class family, Nicolas Maduro was drawn towards left-wing politics under the influence of his father. A bus driver by profession, his immediate entry into politics was marked by his rise to leadership within the transport trade unions. In 1997, he entered active politics by joining Hugo Chávez's political movement. Following this, Nicolas Maduro was elected to the National Assembly of Venezuela and was appointed as its speaker in 2005. His significant role as the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the Hugo Chávez administration eventually paved the way for his appointment as Vice President. Following the death of President Hugo Chávez in 2013, Nicolas Maduro was appointed as the interim president of Venezuela. After a hard-fought battle, he won the 2013 presidential election, leading the country amidst numerous massive challenges. The country's political instability and economic repression were major factors working against his administration. In 2019, his leadership was challenged and many countries have refused to recognize Maduro's presidency. The peak of these public protests occurred during the 2024 presidential election. Although the country's election commission declared Nicolas Maduro the winner, opposition political organizations claimed the election was deeply corrupt. Subsequently, Maduro's administration faced intense public opposition from within the country. The International Monetary Fund pointed out that the Venezuelan economy has suffered a major setback. Furthermore, even the United Nations present reports regarding the corruption and irregularities prevailed under the Nicolas Maduro administration. However, responding to these allegations, Nicolas Maduro stated that the United States has destabilized Venezuela out of a desire to seize the country's oil reserves.
Janata Vimukti Peramuna says that it strongly condemns the invasive military interference conducted against Venezuela by the United States of America. The party has emphasized this in a media release issued by them. It is a common acceptance that the modern society, state administration has to be civilized. Democracy, human rights, independence and sovereignty are basic fundamentals accepted by the world. According to the media release, military interference or invasions violating them under any reason cannot be justified. It added that the party will be standing together for the sovereignty and independence of Venezuela.
And meanwhile, schools in the plantation sector closed temporarily due to the Ditwa cyclone are scheduled to reopen tomorrow. Buildings of around 85 schools in the Duarele districts were destroyed due to this disaster, and several schools were turned into camps to house the displaced. The Vevantan Tamil Mahavidyalaya in Kotmale is also among the schools scheduled to reopen tomorrow. The road leading to the school was completely subjected to an earth slip. However, necessary steps have been taken to repair the road, and a Shramadana campaign to clean the school was held yesterday. Estate workers who were directed to a camp of the displaced persons in the Great Western Tamil School in Thalavakale Police Division had been sent back to their homes upon investigation conducted by the National Building and Research Organization. 270 members belonging to 67 families were temporarily sheltered at the school premises. Donation of a stock of school equipment of the Kalavera Junior School in Arachikattu affected by the floods has taken place yesterday. The items were contributed by the Api Development and Welfare Society of Ragama. Operations continue to restore the roads blocked due to falling of soil mounds in the Badulla district. The Badulla-Duvare Elia and Badulla-Passara roads were severely obstructed and damaged. Restoration work is underway through supervision of Road Development Authority. And the Pinnacle Sri Lanka Awards 2025 Awards Night is presently being conducted in Colombo.
The national television has won 7 awards so far, including the award for the Best Media Channel, acting with a sense of national responsibility in the air.
Congratulations, People's Pinnacle Nationally Responsible Tamil Channel of the Year 2025, Netra TV.
It was also the national television which won the award for the Best Teledrama of the Year, The Lake. The Netra channel of the national television has also won the award for the Best Tamil Medium Channel, acting with a sense of national responsibility in the air. Director of the Netra channel, Nilar N. Kasim, was presented with the award for Media Excellence. The Pum Neelavila musical program of the national television was adjudged as the Best Musical Program of the Year. The award for the Best Weekend Morning Show was presented to the Shanita Aibowan of the national television.
Special messages coming from our valued partners, ladies and gentlemen. And also, along with that, we've got another performance all set to add more glitz and glamour for our award ceremony this evening, and that's going to be Lalit Parakum Dance Studio. So along with these messages, let's enjoy another beautiful performance and come back with more awards.
Along with the glamour, congratulations to the national television. In other news, release of water by the renovated Thaldena Maha project was conducted yesterday. The renovation project was implemented under the theme Adhishtane Mahima. The renovation of Thaldena Maha project at Vialuva, Badulla was completed within a short period of 21 days. Irrigation facilities will be provided for around 400 acres belonging to more than 800 families by the project for cultivable lands. The main objective of the project is to provide necessary irrigation facilities without any obstruction for the Maha season by renovating irrigation systems destroyed in Badulla district. Governor of Uva Province, Kapila Jayasekara, Deputy Ministers Dindusaman Hennayaka, Ruwan Ranasinghe and a number of others were present at the function to release water. Deputy Minister Dindusaman Hennayaka stated that the recent disaster caused a loss of more than $4.2 billion to the country. He noted that as a government faces the challenges of recovering such a large sum, and it is crucial to focus on irrigation system. He emphasized that if farmers fail to cultivate during this period, the crisis will worsen, leading to an increased reliance on rice imports, which would further damage the national economy. The Deputy Minister highlighted that for the first time in Sri Lankan history, over 35,000 people volunteered their labour for an irrigation project over a 2-week period. He estimated that the value of this voluntary labour exceeds 840 million rupees. He called on all citizens to put aside other concerns and join together with courage to support the national rebuilding effort.
Paramotoring has been a sport which has attracted the attention of tourists. Local and foreign tourists visiting Nuwara can avail the opportunity of engaging in this magnificent sport. Nuwara can be described as a city visited by local and foreign tourists as well. Paramotoring sport has been commenced at the Gregory Lake to provide a novel experience for tourists arriving in the city. It has been a special feature that paramotoring has been introduced into our area for the first time. Deputy Minister of Tourism Ruwan Ranasinghe was also presented yesterday to witness this event. Deputy Minister of Tourism Ruwan Ranasinghe said that the government is focused on diversifying the tourism experiences in the Nuwara area to offer more than the traditional sightseeing and scenic walks. He highlighted that new initiatives such as introducing air-based adventure activities and enhancing the city's event-based tourism under the theme Celebrate Nuwara Area are being implemented to add more value to the visitors' stay. The minister noted that by integrating the international expertise and digital advancements, the government aimed to revolutionize the Nuwara area season, making it a significant national and international tourism venue. Furthermore, Deputy Minister Ranasinghe mentioned that specific thematic experiences like high tea sessions at prominent locations are being curated to reflect the unique colonial and cultural charm of the area.
Construction of the 7-story Sadaha Mandira of the historic Kotte Raja Mahavihara commenced yesterday. The event was held under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. The work has got underway in parallel to the Duruthu Full Moon Poya Day, which fell yesterday. The proposed centre will function as a hub for dissemination of Dhamma knowledge and spiritual enhancement, safeguarding the Buddhist heritage for the future generation. The Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone amid spirit chanting of the Mahasangha. Chief incumbent of the Vihara, Venerable Alut Nuwara Anuruddha Thera and Mahasangha and large number of devotees have also graced the occasion.
The Sri Lanka Ayurvedic Drug Corporation has recorded the highest income earned during a year in the history. The income has been 168 million rupees. According to the Sri Lanka Ayurvedic Drugs Corporation, the record income has been possible due to the present leadership, proper management, dedication of the employees, minimizing unnecessary expenditure and wastage. The corporation has also been able to earn the highest sales income of 205 million rupees within a month during December last year. The information has been revealed during a function held recently to introduce 7 new products of Sri Lanka Ayurvedic Drug Corporation. The function was held under the leadership of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatisar at the corporation premises. The minister joined an inspection tour of the production division at the corporation premises. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatisar said that the Inland Revenue Department recently reported its highest revenue in history. He noted that while a revenue target was set for the beginning of the year, this goal was exceeded by mid-November. Following this achievement, the revenue target was revised and that the new target was also surpassed within just a few days. Consequently, the department reported that the government is on track to generate revenue exceeding 2,500 billion rupees this year. Minister Jatisar emphasized that having clear goals and a visible path forward makes such victories possible for the country. In a similar achievement, the minister highlighted that the Ayurvedic Drug Corporation has recorded its highest turnover in the history, amounting to 1.6 billion rupees. He attributed these successful figures to the hard work, sweat and dedication of all employees across every unit of the organization.
The project of the implementation of rural roads has resumed island-wide after the disaster situation. This report focuses attention on several such projects. Nearly 2-kilometer long distance of the roadway from Mahasenpura to Katukeliavat in the Polonnaruwa district is being reconstructed under the Punarudaya to Maga Rural Road Development Program. Financial allocations amounting to nearly 35 million rupees of the Ministry of Transport, Highways and Urban Development are to be spent in this connection. Many families in the area benefited by the reconstruction of the roads, which enables them to transport their farm produce to the town easily and expeditiously. Parliamentarians Padmasri Bandara and Sunil Ratnasiri were also present on the occasion. Carpeting of more than 5-kilometer distance of the road which links the villages of Egudagama, Talakoleva and Siembalava in the Karunagala Pulpitigama Divisional Secretariat Division has taken place. The cost of the project is 98 million rupees. Deputy Minister Nama Kanaratna has also attended the event.
And some more local news items in brief. A van travelling on the bank of Hurulu River in the Kalenbiduru River Police Division has caught fire and destroyed around 10 a.m. and nobody was injured in the incident, believed to have taken place due to a technical defect of the vehicle. Construction of 24 houses for state workers in the Lindula voluntary plantation in Talawakala has commenced yesterday. A sum of 3.2 million rupees has been set aside for the construction of a single house in the project, which is to be carried out under the provision of the Ministry of Plantation, Community Infrastructure Facilities and the Indian government. The event was attended by a group including parliamentarians Manjula Surabhi and Krishnan Kalaichalve. A person was killed when a motorcycle hit a wall in Polkotuba Road in Beruvilla in the Beruvilla Police Division. A 24-year-old male resident in Zakaragoda in Beruvilla had died in the incident, which took place around 8 p.m. yesterday. An elephant calf stranded for 15 days in the aftermath of the floods in the Polonnaruwa district was able to reunite with its mother and a herd of elephants. According to our correspondent, this was made possible after informing the wildlife officials to direct the baby elephant to the forest in Valikanda. A carcass of an wild elephant believed to have been electrocuted was found near a house in Ranaviru village in Valikanda. This morning, the forest range officials in Valikanda says that the dead elephant was believed to be around 25 to 30 years old. And meanwhile, the low-level atmospheric disturbance located to the east of Sri Lanka continues to influence the island's weather.
Accordingly, showery condition expected to enhance over the northern, eastern and Uva provinces during the coming days starting tomorrow.
Welcome back with international stories. And Japan is experiencing a heavy snowfall in the country at present.
More than 100 people have had to shelter in a shrine on a mountaintop in Japan yesterday after heavy snowfall cut off access by road. Around 130 people had been forced to spend the night in the halls of and lobbies of the Mitsumi Shrine in the Saitama Prefecture after the roads around it were closed due to safety concerns, according to foreign media. The local authority confirmed the occupants of the around 50 cars had stayed in the shrine building and said no one had fallen ill. Up to 80 centimeters of snow has fallen in some parts of the country in the past 72 hours, with more predicted to fall as a cold front persists. Bangladesh Cricket has made a request to the International Cricket Council to hold all matches participating Bangladesh in T20 World Cup cricket tournament in Sri Lanka, according to the reports.
Bangladesh is due to play 4 matches in India in the preliminary rounds of the tournament, and the tournament will commence on the 7th of next month in Sri Lanka and India. The Indian Cricket Board recently requested the management of the concerned team to remove Bangladesh cricketer Musharraf Rahman from the squad of Kolkata Knight Riders in the Indian Premier League T20 cricket tournament. Accordingly, the management of the KKR team has taken steps to remove the player from the squad. According to Bangladesh Cricket, if a cricketer with a valid contract is unable to play in India, it is unsafe to play in India during a World Cup tournament. Foreign media reports that a certain problematic situation has arisen regarding the holding of these matches in India. Bangladesh is due to play 4 matches in the preliminary rounds of the tournament with the West Indies in Italy, England and Nepal. Meanwhile, the Bangladesh squad participating in the World Cup T20 cricket tournament has been announced today, and a little was just due to the captain of the team. Recruitment of voluntary employees for the batches to be held at the Parliamentary International Cricket Stadium in the T20 World Cup cricket tournament was conducted throughout the day yesterday. A large number of persons in the age group of 18 to 35 years were present in the interview. The program was implemented by the Sri Lanka Cricket. 4 matches in the preliminary rounds of the World Cup will be held at the Parliamentary International Cricket Stadium. 3 matches will be held against the same venue under the Super 8 category.
The rival Kandy team has been successful in securing victory against the Air Force team in an inter-club league rugby tournament match played at the Air Force grounds in Ratmalani yesterday. The Kandy team has been in the forefront since the beginning of the tournament organised by the Sri Lanka Rugby Union. The first half of the match ended with the Kandy team scoring 29 points against 0 points of the Air Force team. However, in the second half added 22 points to its tally, but the Kandy team also obtained 7 points. Accordingly, the final score was 36-22 in favour of the Kandy team. Points of the winners came in the form of 3 goals and 3 tries. Meanwhile, another match between CR and FC and Havelock teams was conducted at the CR grounds, and the CR team was leading 14-7 at the end of the first half. The CR team has added 19 more points and the Havelock team 7 points in the second half. As a result, CR won the match 33-14. The points of the CR team came through 4 goals and a try.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita, signing with Dulanjali. Stay safe. Good night.